I decided to make another video on manga, and the one I decided to read was Starving Anonymous. But after 17 chapters, I dropped it because after nearly every chapter, it had me hitting that error pose. Like seriously, I don't even know who made it or how it got published in the first place, but I still want to put a video out. So I decided to make one about Hanako and the Terror of Allegory. Interesting enough, this manga was made by the same people who made Future Diary and Big Order, which both have an anime, but Hanako doesn't. So I'm hoping some studio in the future eventually picks it up. Well, enough about that. Let's talk about the manga itself. Hanako and the Terror Allegory is a fairly short manga that spans over 19 chapters, and in the first chapter we meet Aso, the Allegory detective. And if you don't know what Allegory is, it's basically just a story or some like folk tale that reveals something that's hidden or usually hidden. Interesting enough, if you believe in allegories, it can manifest in realities, or at least in the manga it can. Like in the first chapter, the man under the bed. A girl known as Kane goes to Iso because after hearing a story about a man with an axe who hides under beds, she starts believing it more and more because she can't stop thinking about it, therefore making the allegory become a reality. Because in this world, allegories carry supernatural powers, possessing the body as a whole. Kane does end up leaving and going back home, and when Hanako, aka the girl in his bathroom, try to call her, she doesn't answer, realizing she must have gone to sleep. So they rush over to her place to see if she's in danger, or knowing she's in danger. While in the middle of saving Kane, Hanako actually tells her that Iso is possessed by two allegories, with one being that if he hiccups 100 times in a row, he just straight dies, and the other being Hanako herself, meaning that she is an actual person, but she's an allegory. But besides that, they do end up actually beating the man with an axe, by basically just shooting him in the face. After this, Kane ends up being Iso's assistant because she doesn't have no money to pay for the completed job, bringing the chapter to an ending introducing the full main cast of these three characters. Moving on to the next chapter or case is the split mouth woman. Some people may know this about the folklore in real life, but if you don't, just pay attention. Because in this chapter, Iso meets with two clients who happen to be a couple. But before that, Hanako and Iso does have a brief conversation about how Hanako is making an anti-allegory program that will be helpful for later. Moving back to the present, they meet up with the couple where Iso talks with the boyfriend and Kane talks with the girlfriend. During Iso's conversation though, he realizes that he's being pulled into some bullshit again, because the boyfriend starts talking about an allegory, saying that his girlfriend has a complaint about her mouth, because people compare her to the split mouth woman, even go as far as saying that her boyfriend believes it, going to show how ugly this bitch really is. Leading Iso to conclude that yes, she is possessed by an allegory, but he still wants to confirm something. But when you look at the conversation between Kane and the girlfriend, and she shows her face, she just looks like a normal girl. The girlfriend decides to go see her man at the worst possible timing, because Iso asks the boyfriend if his girlfriend beautiful or not, or the boyfriend can't answer, or in better words, he hesitates, making the allegory take full effect. This leads to her leaving, but Hanako assures them the girlfriend will be coming back for the boyfriend. But Hanako can get the upper hand on the girlfriend thanks to the anti-allegory program that she was working on earlier. Because unlike the man with the axe, they can't kill this allegory, so they need a different approach as a whole. So she does end up taking the bait though, because she ended up attacking him. She accidentally breaks a ladder, leading Iso to be stranded on her roof, which gave a little bit of insight into Iso, saying he's no ordinary human. You can see what he means when he started beating the split-mouthed woman in a fight. But before he can start popping holes in her, her boyfriend decides to jump in the way, leading to him finally being honest about how he actually feels about her. This actually gives Hanako time to get rid of the allegory. Also, since the allegory is gone, the damage it did was removed too. But that basically brought the allegory of the split-mouthed woman to an end. On to one of the weirdest cases or chapters that lasts for about 2 chapters, the Fishman allegory. Iso is called to a police station where he is asked to assist with a case where multiple people had died from drowning, all except one person being a sole survivor, Minazushi Yusuke. And while Yusuke is at the police station, he asks for protection because he suddenly remembers that while his classmates were drowning, fish started eating away at their bodies, so he wanted protection from the fish, which is going to be Iso's job, since this is an allegory based on evidence that they have. Fast forward, we see Yusuke sleeping and dreaming of the past, showing that his classmates actually used to bully him, all except one girl, being Miyata. And this is actually pretty weird to me because throughout the whole case, he calls her his girlfriend, but at the same time, it looks like she's disgusting with him. You'll see. Let's get back to the overview. This dream actually turns into a nightmare, waking him up to a pure hell. Before anything that can happen, though, Iso saves him, telling him that one of the missing drowned bodies became a fisherman, aka an allegory. But it's not over there, since everyone made fun of Yusuke. Everyone who drowned and died became an allegory, leading Iso and Hanako to get brutally killed. Fast forward a little bit, Connie and Yusuke end up waking up in a room, never explained by the way. Yeah, actually helps if you just don't even think about it at all. But during this time, it starts to show that Yusuke is a little bit off, like how he tried to assault Kaine. I'll come back to that in a second though, because before they were killed by the fishmen, Iso and Hanako saved them, showing that they are still alive. Now most of you probably be thinking like, how are they still alive if they've been brutally killed? But don't worry, I got you, so pay attention. The reason behind this is because since Hanako is connected to Iso, as long as he is alive, she will never die. And the way Iso doesn't die is because he's distorting reality, because his mere existence is becoming close to an allegory more than human. But let's not focus too much on this. Let's focus on the fishman. Because it's real that it was never an accident in the first place. Pay attention. Since Yusuke was being bullied on the bus, he tried to take himself off the map, but he wanted his classmates to get killed too, since they was the reason for his suffering in the first place. Unfortunately though, he did succeed in getting rid of them, but not himself, which led to him being the sole survivor, thus leading to the fishman allegory. They go over a few more things, but to me, the chapter really just ended on an anonymous note. Now, I basically just went over the first 4 chapters with you, and if it piqued your interest, I recommend reading it, because not only does the main 3 characters have an interesting dynamic, if you continue to read it, you'll see they have an amazing plot twist, or near the end anyway, so check it out.